Hi everyone, welcome to part 2 of Fun with Flowers, as I've decided to call it, from Summer Nights by Hanna Karlzon. Reminds me rather of Sheldon Cooper's Fun with Flags. Any of you might get the reference, you might not, but we're going to be doing this one. Now to me this flower here looks rather like a sunflower, so I thought that is how I would colour it. Now some of you may know I am petrified of colouring in yellow, so that's going to be fun. Not petrified, it's just not a favourite colour of mine because I find it a little tricky, but we shall have a go and see what happens. Now I am going to actually start with a darker shade of yellow. I find it easier with yellow. I do this with quite a lot of colours anyway, to start with the darker colour first. So I'm going to grab a dark Naples ochre. Okay, so it's a sort of browner tone. Now I'm looking at the way the leaves have been drawn, and we've got a little line in the centre of them. Can you see that? So I'm thinking that this might be that the leaf is sort of bent outwards. It's hard to describe what I mean. So for my yellow, this yellow, I'm going to start at the base of the leaf and put some down there, and then go behind here, and then just sort of fade it a bit. So this line becomes a little separator between two halves of leaf and petal. I'm going to do the same here. Just take that out like that. And hopefully we can make it work. This one's got two little lines. I'm just going to use this larger one. There we go. I'm going to go in between those two because I don't really know what else to do. Anyway, there's a very interesting picture on this side of the page. I can't really see it. If you're colouring along in the book, you'll see it. She's a lady all covered in flowers. Like, it looks like you could either colour it as if they were tattoos, or as if she's wearing a flowery jumper. I have a feeling I've coloured a very similar picture, but outtake time. I don't do outtakes, I just carry on. A very similar picture to it before, but not that one because she's got free written on her hand, and I don't remember having that to do. But I know the one I did before, I chose to do it as a sort of jumper because I was a bit scared of all the skin tone, but getting more confident in my skin tone. I find I'm better at it with certain pencils than others. I'm not very good at it. I'm practicing a lot with Prisma, so I'm getting better with that. I'm not very good at doing it with Castell. I find their skin tone pencils are a little bit orangey if you're doing a pale skin tone, which is what I tend to do most of the time because it's what I know. Prisma's very good. And the Polychromos are pretty good as well. I'm getting better with them anyway, it's just practicing. Lots of practice. It's like any aspect of drawing really. I mean, having started with Johanna Basford and all her florals and leaves, then I'm better practiced at those than some of the other items that we might be colouring. Right, I'm going to go to a more conventional yellow now. I'm going to reach all the way up to the top of my pencil tin and get a light chrome yellow. There you go. And I think a lot of the rest of these petals can now be done with this. Now I don't want to press too hard at this stage. Partly I want this brown colour, this browny yellow to show through. I don't know how well it's showing through on camera, but it is showing through. I also want to put some more shadow into the picture. So if I push down too hard, I'm going to end up with a very burnished layer of pencil, meaning that it will be a very flat, shiny surface. And then I won't be able to put any more layers on top. It's always a good idea to slowly build up your layers so that you've got plenty of room for adding more colour. I have found before that I've done a picture and the colour I used was totally the wrong one. For some reason I just grabbed completely the wrong pencil, distracted or whatever, you know, and having done that I was able to gently erase a little bit. It watercolour pencils aren't brilliant at erasing, and then just layer over it with other colours and it just sort of faded away. So if you go gently enough, you're able to do that. If you push down hard and burnish in, you can't. Also, I find it more relaxing going a bit more slowly. I'm not always very good at slowing down. I mean, you're probably going, but you're not going slowly, you're going really fast. This is slow for me. I am like the fastest person in the world. Usain Bolt. Not quite. I don't walk. I used to walk fast. I'm not so fast now. Getting too old. But I am fast at doing things. I just speed along. I've always got lots to do. So I'm always just pushing on and getting on and doing lots. And it's the way I am. It's not, I don't get stressed by doing, in fact, the opposite. By getting so much done so quickly, it means I can achieve so much, which is fantastic. So when I'm cleaning away my house and I'm rushing around and I'm cooking and chopping and tidying up and stacking dishwashers and blah, 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 all those things, folding, washing, and, you know, I'm just doing it fast. It gets it over and done with. And it means you can get on with more. You can pack much more into your day. My son is like, I'm so laid back, Mum, I'm not going to rush and hurry. It's like, it's all right for you, lad, but you know, I have got to keep going until the job is done. I would rather you hurried up a bit and did a bit more, and then it would be over quicker. But hey ho, it's just his way. Right, I am going to come back to my dark Naples ochre, and I am actually going to go right back over the bits that I've done already to brighten them up a bit. Okay, if you have done yours a little bit harder than me, they might show up a bit more anyway. Page is going squiff, there we go. But I just feel like I want to go back over them a little bit, and why not? So you can skip this stage if you're happy with what you've done already, but I'm just having fun really, colouring away. My husband's home this afternoon. He's working from home. He's got to do something which is apparently easier at home, I don't know, and bits and pieces. So he's having a meeting next door, so I thought it was better for me to be in here than disturbing him. So that's all good. There we go. Now, in between each petal there might be some shadow where they're overlapping each other. Now it's always a little bit difficult to know how to do the shadows, whether to do them in a darker shade of the colour you're using. So we're using yellow, so that would be a darker yellow or orange maybe. Oh, excuse me, or whether to do it in a dark colour like this. This is oh, that's grey. I want the sepia. Now I'm going to use this dark sepia. Now it's a really dark colour, so you need to be a little bit careful in how much you put down, or else you could end up with a big dirty looking splodge. So here we are, dark sepia, and we're going to look for these sort of overlapping. Can you see here? And I'm just going to put a bit along the edge of the black line to just hopefully show in the shadow. And here. Now the yellow colour that I've chosen is quite muted, and sunflowers are normally quite bright, so you might prefer to go over again with a really bright, you know, one of your a sort of dark chrome yellow, dark cadmium yellow, something like that. And I might do that myself because I feel that it's not quite as bright and cheery as I'd hoped. But we'll just get this shadow in. Now the good thing with Polychromos is that they don't really smudge. So even though I've put this shadow in, when I'm colouring over it or around it, it's not going to smudge beyond where I want it. If I was using Prismacolors, they're very smushy and smudgy. I might then smudge this colour into the outside of this little area where I wanted it, so it might look a bit messy. I'm always a little bit wary with my Prismas. and it's also if you do a soft pastel background and you're smushing about with some colour on some cotton wool or whatever. I'm going to use the cadmium yellow. You find that you can often smush it into the background, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Now I'm not going to just squodge this all over the place. I'm going to go over the top of that darker area that we created and then just extend it a bit so our edges of our petals are still paler. I think it might look better like that. See what you think and decide for yourself. We've certainly got more vibrancy in our petals, but we also can see the different layers of colour, which is what I wanted. You know, if I just wanted a plain colour petal without any sort of gradients in, I would have just used this colour all over it right from the start. But I wanted to just try and make it look a little bit different. And that's what I've achieved. Getting it's a bit bitty in that I'm getting bits of pencil. Hang on. I'm going to brush it off a bit. I don't know whether you can really see. There we go. There we go. So yes, Fun with Flowers, Fun with Flags was from what's the programme called? On my brain. It's not on anymore. Oh goodness, it'll come to me hopefully. But yes, I could name all the characters. It's just the name of the program. Anyway, sometimes a TV show name has nothing to do with its theme or characters, and that's where it gets a little bit confusing. I'm trying to think, American TV sitcoms, they often have a name that's to do with the characters rather than the like The Simpsons or oh gosh, I know his spin-off is called Young Sheldon. Right, there, it's quite bright now, isn't it? I'm happy. Now the centre of our sunflower, if we think about, and sunflowers have got a lot of seeds. Sometimes it's quite yellow, sometimes it's brownish, sometimes it's greenish. It was raining. It was getting really dark and it was going to rain. What I think I'm going to do with this centre is actually start with the gaps between the circles, and I want those to be quite dark. So I'm going to grab a dark brown and sharpen it. This is my walnut brown. I'm just going to give it a sharpen. Oh, it's called the Big Bang Theory. There we go. So thank you to all those who've already typed in the comments the answer that I got there. So in between, I'm going to make it dark, and then hopefully the seeds will look a little bit more three-dimensional, because it could be layers and layers of seeds, or seeds sort of on a base type. I don't really know how they work on sunflowers. But anyway, just keep filling in all these little gaps. Oops, and then all the way around. I'm trying to think actually what colour to do the seeds, but I think we'll do them we might use a light brown edge and then a sort of ochre in the middle. I'm going to colour each one singly. You don't have to. There are different ways you can attempt something like this. You can make it darker here and then go lighter and lighter towards the middle, and then it looks like it's sort of standing up from the plant. That's quite effective. But I'm going to do each seed separately because I think it's fun and it'll be a little bit different. There we go. Now I'm going to pick a fairly pale brown, I think. I'm thinking raw umber might work nicely with maybe a yellow ochre or something. see how it goes. So the plan with the raw umber, there you go, you can see it now, is to go around the edge of each one and try and sort of fade it in a little bit. Let's put a more defined edge on the outside and then just a little bit inside of it. It's not the easiest thing to do. Of course it's raining, it's this school Easter holidays. I'm recording this a little bit ahead of time, as I always do, especially with the series, because I need to get the whole series done. Well, I say need, I like to get the whole series done. So I put together a compilation video for my channel members. Now, to become a member of my channel, you have to pay. And I find it a little bit difficult charging people for money, but I do need to, this is my only job, so I do need to sort of bring some money into the household. So what members can do is they can pay. There are various levels of payment. You can choose. All members get the same benefits, whatever level they are. It just gives you the opportunity to donate a bit more if you wish. And you basically get early access is what it's called. So you get a compilation video of all the compilation videos available to members, and so anything that's a series, so it's got more than one part, I make into a compilation by just gluing them together. I don't do anything fancy, but it means that you get all the parts on the day of release, or sometimes a little bit in advance of that. So it means that you don't have to wait. So when yesterday's came out, you might have thought, oh, I just want to do the rest of the page, but I've got to wait a week or however many videos there are to, it's 8, isn't it? 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, to finish it. But the members don't have to, because they get them all in one go. So it's just a little perk. And I thought long and hard about how to set it up so that it was fair, so that people couldn't afford to be a member, or who might just want to be a member for a short amount of time and then can't be any longer, that sort of thing, can get some sort of perk, but without it being something so different that other people miss out. Because I know what it's like to be tight for money myself, and to have to count every penny, and when you have a little bit of spare and you want something, you want to treat yourself, your family or your friends, you know. So I absolutely understand. So I wanted to make it so that there was the opportunity if you wanted it, and a small reward, but not something that means other people have to miss out. Can you see how that's starting to look quite three-dimensional? Now we're going to grab the yellow ochre to finish them off. Again, I need to sharpen it. Now with this one, it's going to be quite hard for me to show you, I think, because it's so small. But I'm going to go over the top of what I've done already, a couple of layers, and then gently bring the colour in and fade as I go, so that the very centre is quite pale. But I want a bit of yellow on everything. So I'm just taking my time going around each one. So yes, if you want to become a member or learn a bit more about it, you can go to my main page on the YouTube website once you finish watching this video, of course, and by just clicking my name or tapping my name, and there you find there's some different tabs, and there's a memberships tab, and if you go there it tells you more about it and about what to do. Also, every month at the moment YouTube are giving me 10 memberships to give away. Now I can't choose who gets them, YouTube chooses, but I can just choose whether they are given away or not, so I will do choose that option. So 10 lucky people get a free membership for a month. I feel in a way it's a little bit unfair, because the current members don't get that opportunity, and they've just been paying, so thank you members. But it does give people who can't afford it, or who want to just trial it and see what it's like, that opportunity. But as I say, I don't get to choose, and with nearly 10,000 members, I don't know whether it goes to people who aren't current viewers or how YouTube chooses. You know, I know who I want to have them, but in a way I'm glad I don't have to pick, because there's too many people I'd like to have it. But anyway, so each month I do that. I have to do it during a premiere or a live, because I don't do lives, I do it during a premiere, and you don't have to be there to get it. So you don't have to do anything apart from on your profile. You have to tick a box to say that you're willing to accept gifts. And I don't know whether it's an opt-in or an opt-out thing, and I've got no idea where it is. But if you go into YouTube help and put accept gifts, you'll be able to, there'll be a little thing to tell you how to do that. So, because if you say I don't want gifts, then they won't give you it. I don't know why anyone wouldn't want one, but anyway, there we go. I'm just having a look to see if I'm happy with that. Feels like there's something missing and I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's just because there's no leaves. I know what I want to do. You see in between each of these petals there's a gap and it's white. I don't like that. I want there to be what looks like a petal in there, sitting behind. I think it'll look much better. So I'm going to take my cadmium yellow. I'm going to fill in each of those gently and then add a few other colours. You don't have to do this, but I just think it's going to give the flower some depth. Somehow it just looks a bit spindly. I don't know if you know what I mean. But it just looks like, I mean, obviously this layer of petals would show through here. If you can draw, you could draw them in and show the second layer behind. But we're just going to make out that there's short petals behind, because I just think it'll look better. Right, so that's our sort of initial layer, but we need something a little bit darker. I'm trying to figure out what to use. I think I'm going to use the green gold to do the edges of each one. I'm just sharpening. Oh, still blunt. Come on, green gold. This is my new green gold. I've had to buy it because I'd run out. Green gold. So what I'm going to do with each section, I'll try and find it. This one's fairly biggish, I'll show you, is just to put a layer of green gold around the edge, as if there's a bit of shadow in there, rather than doing a sepia shadow. I might come back and redo that as sepia at the end if I feel it's not effective enough, but I want to just try it with this first because I think it might work. Oh, I'm getting very thirsty. Got a bottle of water here. What I'll do is I'll finish this and then I'll take a sip while I sit back and decide whether it needs the sepia in it or not. I think it probably will, to be honest. But I don't know if you can hear my husband on the phone there, through the wall. He's just the other side of the wall. It's very loud. But anyway, he's got his telephone voice on. Did you do telephone voice? Is that a thing everywhere? I'm just going to brush it off and have a look. Have a drink. There is some depth there. It definitely looks like it's sitting behind, but I'm not sure it's enough. Oh, gloop. Right. Yeah, I'm going to do the sepia. Dark sepia. And I'm wondering whether I need a bit in between these as well. Let's do this bit first. I'm just going to try and do it quite gently. And I'm just doing it on top of where I did the green gold. Just to add a little bit more. Oops, my book is going all over the place. It's going off for a little walk. It's getting caught on my sleeve. I can hear a plane outside. And when I can hear sort of planes buzzing around, I always think it sounds quite summery, but it's pouring with rain. And it's certainly not warm. I've got my fleece on. I'm sad because my cardigan was dirty, so it's waiting for a wash. I like my cardi. I know I probably look like a scruffy old lady, but it's just comfy. Oh, it's only in the house. Right. Let's work our way around. Yeah, I think I'm going to add a bit of this in the middle as well. being ultra fussy. Because I'm thinking in between here, you know, I filled in this darker area with the walnut brown. I'm going to go around the edge of each of those areas with a bit of this sepia. It's going to be really difficult for you to see what I'm doing, I think. But maybe not. It's just because I'm looking on a teeny weeny screen. I can hardly see. The hard thing I'm going to find is remembering each bit. Oh, so I'm a bit sniffy. I've had a lot of sinus pain, sinus headaches and earache and things like that. But I wish I could just have a cold and it would just get it over and done with. But I have been quite lucky, to be honest, because I actually often spend all of the winter with sinus pain on and off all the time. Some years I've had to have antibiotics. I'm going to go around the edge of each of these very outside ones just to cast a shadow around, because I haven't got a very deep shadow in there. But yeah, I've been okay, which is good. It's been very mild this winter though, which has been annoying. I like cold winters. There we go. Oh. There. Okay, I am going to make that do now. I've been faddling, and I think he looks quite good. It's probably a little bit early in the year, isn't it, for sunflowers? They don't normally come out yet, but anyway, it doesn't matter, does it? So we've had a bit of a practice. I have got other videos with sunflowers. There's Johanna Basford's sunflower that I've done. Another one as well. So if you want something, if you want to look at a few different ones, then there are a few different ideas or flowers that are drawn slightly differently. Then there's that you can go and have a look at as well. I try and link to a few in the cards, but I don't know how many of you even know what they are. In the top corner it comes up, there's a little card, and it'll say, and it takes you to another video. Problem is you have to stop watching the one you're watching to go to it, which always seems a bit silly. Anyway, that is that. If you do want sunflower videos, just go to my name profile, my name, click on the magnifying glass and type in sunflower, and it will bring you up all the sunflower videos. Or ask me in the comments and I will send you the link. There we go. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a lovely day and happy colouring.